Hi, we're back. Week 9, task 7 of the 340 Study Skills Project. And this week we are working on our presentation outline. So in this week's lesson, we are going to learn about outlines. We're going to look at an example presentation outline, and we're going to begin to make our own presentation outlines. And in this first part, we're going to take a look at our outline template and talk about what sort of things we want to include in our outline. So let's get started. All right, so as always, we start by looking back at our Travel Club flyer about the new university club and what we are doing here with our project. And as always, we are working towards this goal of making a presentation about our destination, and hopefully the SQU Travel Club will choose it for their first international trip. And so far, getting us towards that final goal, we've chosen our destination, we've done some research about that, we've taken notes about the destination, we've made our reference list, we've made a glossary of all the new words, and most recently we wrote that proposal to the SQU Travel Club. So we're getting close to our presentation. And so our next few tasks are going to be getting us prepared for giving that presentation. And so today's task, or this week's task, task 7, is quite important because this is where we're taking all of the information we've worked on so far and starting to get it ready so that we can prepare our slides in the next task and then present all of this information. So this is really the next part, the big part, the main part in getting us ready to make that presentation. All right. And as you can see, it's worth 10 whole marks out of our total 100 marks for this project. So it's quite important and we want to do really well on it. So let's start by looking at a template, or the template that we have made for you for your outline. So what is an outline? An outline helps us to organize our information. So again, we're taking all of the information that we've learned so far, that we found about our destination, and we're going to now organize it into an outline form that's going to help us to make our slideshow in the coming weeks. So some features of an outline are that it's notes and not sentences. Just like our note-taking sheet, we said we want to take the main ideas, the key words, and include those. We don't want it to get too wordy. It's the same thing with our outline. We're going to keep it as notes, but not sentences. Another feature of our outline is it has main ideas, just like our proposal, but now because we're talking about our presentation, we want to start to include those supporting details. Another feature of an outline is that it uses symbols. So for example, this is a symbol that means and an outline uses abbreviations. So maybe shortening a word, using just the first few letters. Again, it's note form. It's not full sentences. And it's also to help you organize your information. So it's about helping you to understand your information. And finally, a feature of an outline is that it uses Roman numerals and letters to show relationships between information. And we have made for you an outline template in your Google Docs that already has all of this formatting of the Roman numerals and letters. So you don't have to do that. All you need to think about is the relationships between information. All right, so quickly, let's go through the online template, and then we're going to go into more detail looking at my example of the Norway destination. All right, so the template is broken into 5 parts. The first part is the introduction, and you'll see that each part, within each part of the template or the outline, you have slide 1, slide 2, and then what kind of information we are expecting on each slide. Over here, you have a place to put an image, and we'll talk about that more in detail when you look at my example. So for each of these sections in your outline template, like I said, we've included the information that we're expecting you to provide, and also we've already put it into an outline form using the Roman numerals and the letters to show relationships. So each of these Roman numerals is a main point, and then the letters are a supporting detail for that point. So the first two slides are going to be the introduction, giving the title slide. That's just always the first slide of your presentation. What are you talking about and who is doing the talking? And the next slide is the outline of the whole presentation so that your listeners, your audience knows what to expect. The next part of your outline is the proposal. And as you can see, that's slide 3, and that's your proposal, and that's what you have already made in task 6. Then the next slide, slide 4, why should SQU Travel Club choose your destination? This is the overview. This is like in our essays where we start with the big idea in our introduction and we get more and more and more specific. So we started with our proposal, kind of the big ideas, and now we want to start getting more specific. And if you'll look, that's right. This information is going to come directly from your note-taking sheet. So the next part is our body of our presentation. And that's where we're going to go into a lot of details about our attractions. And as you can see in our template here, we've suggested for each attraction 2 slides. The first slide giving the highlights of the visit and how it will benefit SQU students. And the second slide, the hours of operation and cost. Again, those more specific details. And then slides 7 and 8 for attraction 2, slides 9 and 10 for attraction 3. If you are a pair, you're going to keep going and have 12 slides for your 6 attractions. So this is where the majority of your information in your presentation is going to be. And then finally, just like in our essays, the last 2 slides are going to be your conclusion. And as you can see, we've already prepared for you here the information that needs to go on those slides. So that's the outline template in general. In our next part, we're going to look at it more specifically and an example of how I took the information from the note-taking sheet and put it into my outline. So let's get ready to do